Hi, it's the beginning of another weekend. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I never ever do this alone. I have my lovely co-host. Hi, ladies. Excellent weekend, ladies.
Exceptional morning.
It's a brand new month, ladies.
Oh!
Yes,
Today's
today.
March
Yes,
1st.
first of
Yeah,
March.
so that's true.
My best month.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic. Today's Holy Ghost. So those of you...
I was actually looking forward to Tiana's post.
Of
Yesterday,
her birthday.
when Tokwe mentioned it, that I'm looking forward to March, I wanted to chip it in that I was looking forward to Tiana's post. Because she's been, gosh, I'm not on social media, but my staff keeps sending me, Madam, see what you should do. We keep that. I say, this past my
So she's her birthday this month?
Today is her birthday.
Yeah, today is actually her birthday. Happy birthday, Tiana.
She's been nude all the way till now. She said she's celebrating sweet 16. And so she's exposing her 16-icious body, feeding those on social media. I deliberately didn't like, because I like her hustle, but if I like her picture, I'll start seeing all her posts, and I don't want to see all her posts. Yeah, so.
Well, I've been too busy breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding, though.
I didn't even remember to check social media. But how are you doing, BC?
Doing amazing. It's my birthday.
This is back to school. You won't tell us you're back to school.
Wait, now calm down first. On the 27th is my birthday. My father's birthday
That's
is
the
on
end
the
of the
4th.
month. That's the end of the
It's
month.
on the 4th of this month.
Okay.
So I'm wishing him happy birthday.
Right.
Then I've gone back to school. Yes. You know, like, I've been doing this relationship stuff, love experts. I like to call myself a love expert, helping people with their relationships. And now I decided to do it professionally, like get all the certifications so that
please,
when I come out
If
and
you are calling me that my husband did not call me, that I'll just
call
direct
me.
you to
Yes,
back
please.
down, I solve the
Don't
problem.
people call me for that problem. Say, oh,
Are you
honestly,
kidding?
I'm clueless. I'm still doing my
You're
own
still
thing.
learning.
I'm
Yeah.
learning. I don't know how to talk. So as you call me, I'll just direct
forward
you
them to me.
Fantastic.
I'm ready.
Auntie, how are you doing? Plans for the weekend?
Exceptional morning. How do you people say it?
Excellent
morning. No, my own is exceptional. Exceptional morning.
Yes, so just embellish your day.
Plans for the weekend?
No, I'm busy all through till Sunday. I think next week I have to take a break and relax because it's been busy
Back to back.
schedule for 2 weeks. So no. Once I'm done here, I'm running out again.
And the henna.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. The first time I did it.
The yellow people always like this thing because it pops your skin.
Beautiful.
And it's not fading as fast. Mine fades so fast.
Maybe you are not contacting the right person.
How are you doing, Topsy? What plans for the weekend?
Very, very good. Yesterday, I transformed Mariam into a model. I was like, she was Vogue material. She was just like this.
Really? Taking pictures, right?
Please, where are the
Oh my
pictures? I
goodness,
didn't
she
see
was
any posts.
So, yeah, I will. She was, and she really loved it. And she was like, she didn't know she had it in her. And then I got home and my son was vomiting.
Yeah.
This morning I had to take one to school and I said, I'm going to miss my brother. This is my first time going to school without my brother. I'm like, I can't help it. I don't want you to miss
They've
school
done everything
because
together all their lives. Wow.
And usually when they fall sick together. But this one happened that
They are growing.
no, I'm just praying he does not catch it. Let just one person deal with it because it wasn't convenient at all.
What's your plan for the weekend?
Honestly, my husband has been under the weather for the past few days. We've been going in and out of hospital. He's been very ill. I have an eye issue. My baby,
exercising.
Not recently, not in the next few days. He's actually been under the weather, and it's just been taking care of, Oga. When Oga is ill like
You
that.
need to rest this weekend.
I was jabbing the other day that, for the baby he stays away, but now that he needs care.
You need to give him
comes
attention.
around,
Biko.
Is he hot? Please check my temperature. I'm like,
please,
you're fine. Like,
be
you're not-
beside
it's
him.
It's not 40 degrees, you're good. You're good. You're not gonna die. No, you lie.
Sometimes
number one
you have
baby.
the feeling inside.
Yeah.
Your temperature isn't high, but your feeling, you might be feeling
Really
so
hot.
weak and all
So
of
he's
that.
doing better, so.
Thank God.
Oh, fantastic. So that's all. Anyway, it's Friday. Let's plan something for the weekend. I actually ordered something really nice.
Yesterday, yeah. What
Very
was
nice.
it?
Lovely salad. I haven't had salad in a long time.
Was it from Fritz Gym?
I'm not going to mention the person, but it was not from that place, but somewhere else. Really nice salad. I'm going to order again. So I like some salad.
Just spoil yourself a bit.
Have fun.
Okay, so let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll try to go through the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay. Does palm wine really work for breastfeeding?
I don't know about that. I know palm wine, yes.
I've been using
I've
it.
heard,
palm
yes,
wine.
palm wine for the past
Yeah, I'm going to
yesterday.
intoxicate the baby.
No.
But I think it's really working.
It
though.
doesn't get to
It's
the
your
baby.
people and they drink.
And our babies are not high.
Okay, all right. Let me just go straight into it. I just thought about that right now. The Punch. Presidential poll results. Abdulsalami Kuka meets Atiku. And Obi as Oshomole attacks ex-VP. You ain't destined to rule. We'll meet in court, APC chairman tells Atiku. Picture here of APC in Alausa, Lagos State, distributing free rice. Fuel spillage from a vandalized NNPC pipeline caused panic in Lagos. Ondo, 15 persons die of Lassa fever, 102 infected in 2 months. Be humble in victory, presidency tells APC members. Exactly now. Police tear gas anti-Tinubu protesters in Lagos. Many callers complain about hoodlums at polling units, says election monitor. And Falano sues Gbajabia Miller for unpaid 20 million professional fees. All right, first of all, this picture is really interesting because I'm not understanding why they're distributing free rice.
Well, they didn't have. I was hoping there'll be a story in addition to that. Maybe it is for party members, maybe it is for supporters, but
I see people fighting for these things. I mean,
exactly.
come on, we pass this
so
stage.
If you want to share rice, people need rice. The truth is, people are hungry. If you can we treat people decently when you're giving them?
Or take it to their wards individually to the leaders, and they give it to them. Not take it out in the public and make it look looks like a bunch of. Anyway, let's just go to the other stories. The human interest, the Lassa fever. Yeah, go ahead,
so
please.
the Ondo State chairman of the National Medical Association disclosed to journalists that about 102 people between January and February have been were affected with Lassa fever, and in January alone they had about 15 deaths. And one of the reasons those people died was because they didn't come to the hospital immediately. They noticed they had the symptoms, and also they had started on alternative medication before getting to the hospital. So by the time they got to the hospital, they found out that most of their livers and everything was already gone. And they talked about how we can prevent this from happening.
Let's take another story in Punch.
The Ijegun. So Igodo, Ikotu area had major oil spillage due to bunkering activities, and they had to report because a lot of the residents within that area were fearful. Remember that we had the explosion in there was an explosion in Abule Egba area that destroyed millions of property. So now that this has happened, they've been calling on people that can help in dousing whatever, so that it doesn't, not tension. I think they pour some things into this oil spillage so that it doesn't catch fire thereabouts. So that was just what the story is about.
All right, so the police were told that there was a police tear gas yesterday concerning anti-Tinubu protesters in Lagos, which took place in Area F at one of the hotels in Ikeja yesterday. And we're told that hoodlums and a lot of people, especially those people who formed the new movement called Orange Movement, saying that the aim of the movement is for them to dissolve whatever hierarchy or empire that Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formed, that they want a new governance, they want new people to, and it was really bad. But I just want to use this opportunity to just plead with all the party people that violence is very dangerous. Regardless of however you want to approach it, you should engage your supporters without any hoodlums and
to
violence.
The Nation. Oshomole to Atiku will meet you in court. Atiku's agents plan Lagos takeover. Saudi King Emir of Qatar, Russian envoy, greets Buhari. Let's see, 21 Fiat killed, scores injured in Zamfara. Ex-NAF chief gets 21 years of fraud. And federal government AGF, we have not removed Onogen. APC shows its strength with 65 elected senators. So out of the 109, APC has 65, which is the numerical strength. However, it's still not the 2/3 they need for the Senate. So hopefully they're hoping that the other ones where they have inconclusive votes, we can get some. They can actually get some more senators.
There's a human angle story down that's very
Okay, so which one?
This last one here.
A man allegedly impregnating the niece and killing her.
So 21 killed in Zamfara. There's a local government, a village in Bagega community of Ankan local government in Zamfara state. The attack happened 5 p.m. on Tuesday, and it was a reprisal attack. And 21, not confirmed, that 21 people have been killed and that 40 people have been adopted from that community. So I know that the acting IG has said that the police is understaffed, but how do we ensure that people still feel safe around, This shouldn't happen.
Okay.
May I quickly take that story?
Yes.
So there's this 52-year-old man who impregnated the niece, had the baby in the house, the niece, after the mother died. So he was like helping to train the child and then been sleeping with her for 3 years. The girl got pregnant. He tried the first time to get rid of the pregnancy using a local midwife, but then that didn't happen, and he planned and conspired to kill the child in the bush. So, but he was caught at the end of the day, and so I think we really need to be careful who we send off our children to. Because those cousins.
You get this report a lot of times.
Every time.
Let's move on now to Vanguard. Polls results. We're ready to meet Atiku in court, says Oshomole. JAM registers 1.8 million candidates for UTME. Presidential polls, Abdusalami Kuka meet Atiku, Saraki, seconders, and others. How APC liberated Kwara from Saraki's dynasty, says Lai Mohammed. Okota crisis, suspected thug to face trial, says Commissioner of Police. Sanwo-Olu, MC Oluomo assure Igbo of safety in Lagos. Buhari may dissolve cabinet before May 29th. In fact, all the interesting stories are in Vanguard today. But Lai Mohammed is saying that the liberated Kwara from Saraki's dynasty, I think our president has asked us not to gloat.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I think even the chairman of APC should take things easy. I mean, they're trying to, that's why we have Abdusalami, others coming to meet the PDP candidates to try to douse the tension.
Gave this statement yesterday, urging everybody that he wants to run an inclusive government, and that this the people have voted, God has put the power back with them, and that there should be no gloating. Everybody should live peacefully with one another. However, I think that message just was with him. We need to let it trickle down all the way to every party member, fan of President Muhammadu Buhari. Just on social media, let's all show love. And
okay,
what do you say about
one Nigeria? Which other story do you want to take here?
The APC.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Atiku.
No, there was
okay, let me. You are deciding we're going to.
Oshomole is saying that they are ready for Atiku
in court.
So he has every right to come out and you know, he can contest the elections if he doesn't believe. But they are ready for him. As he's bringing up his agenda, they are bringing up their own. They have their own issues too.
You also mentioned, and I want to just say that it seems like Atiku is not destined to rule Nigeria.
No, it's not. I think Nigerians are not ready for Atiku yet.
That's your own saying. Right?
What he said was he's not destined to rule, and that he said he was going to sell NNPC. People felt that they had already collected deposits for the sales.
But someone who is the candidate of the APC and MC Oluomo are there assuring Lagos, especially Igbos living in Lagos, of that there will be no issue, that they'll be safe, and there will be no issue of violence in Lagos State.
Morayo, MC Oluomo is not the chairman of NUWRT. No. He's the treasurer. And he's so outspoken. He's always everywhere.
I think his area is in Oshodi, so he's also talking to the Oshodi, the Igbos living in the Oshodi. So also, because the idea is there's still an election coming up, and everybody needs to ensure that we are safe.
There's election next week. It's not over yet.
It's not yet over. Right, moving on very quickly now to the New Telegraph. Lots of stories here too. APC, Atiku not destined to be Nigeria's president. That's Oshomole talking. Presidency, how the battle was won and lost in Northwest and Southwest. Presidential poll, Duke, Showore, Mogalu, Dorutore, others, 67 others scored almost 900,000 votes.
Less than 1 million.
And let's see, which other story here? I killed my wife for starving me of sex.
Ew.
Lassa fever, 15 died, 105 cases recorded in Ondo. AVM, that's the Air Vice Marshal Omenyi, jailed 7 years for 136 million naira bribe. And we've ended Saraki's political dynasty, says Olori Egbe. We talked about that already, so I think we should just let the tension subside. But there was a story I wanted to take. This man that said that he said that his wife actually was just stabbing him. He used the pestle to break her head.
Why? Why didn't they have a conversation? Why didn't he go outside?
Wish I could ask him that question. Unfortunately, the paper just said the man was tired. He tried to. The woman kept starving him of sex, and then he just.
For how long, please? Was there any detail?
Specify. Just said that continuously. It was very, very generic.
Oh wow.
So they need love experts.
Yes,
people need love. They just consult a consultant. Don't just start killing each other. We need to address the issue of multiple political parties, because we're just splintering votes. I was trying to get the figure of the number of political parties we have that contested for the presidential election, but outside the first and second, we had all the others put together less than 1 million. Can we just have maybe 2-3 strong parties that just going everywhere?
It's a hot topic we need to talk about, because it's really disturbed the counting. 4 days.
You're not be doing 2 people, 3 people.
We are vexing.
We can do better.
We're even upset with you. Let's go on a break. When we come back, so we're surfing online. We now found out that somebody posted something about men love to raise feminists. However, they will never allow their own wives to be free. Is that true? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right, so a Nigerian writer recently tweeted that men love to raise feminist daughters, but never allow their wives to be free. She also added that many become feminists because they never, ever, ever, ever want to be like their mothers. Do you agree? You can join the conversation on 070-80668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, when we read this article, or this message, it struck a chord with a lot of young ladies in Nigeria because we could almost all connect and relate to what she was saying. Because when I look back also, I think to myself, right, I did everything not to be like my mom. Just to do it differently, you know, to be treated with respect, the kind of respect I wanted to be treated with. So I can understand that, but the conversation now is, why is it that it's easy for a man to want to invest so much in his daughter, want her to be all that she can be, travel the world, be this, do that, and yet when his wife wants to do the same thing,
doesn't let her.
He doesn't allow her to do that. Why is that such a problem? And we're going to start the conversation with us, but we're going to also open the phone lines to hear your thoughts on it, and you can also tweet to us so that we can see and hear your own views on this. Let me start with Obiajulu.
Yes, so I had a personal experience growing up. I grew up with my father, though I wasn't privileged to see my father and my mother relate because she had left.
Right.
She had the spirit of a 21st century woman, so she couldn't take any form of abuse. She left. But I saw my father treat the other women that came around with, you know, I am the man, I am the authority, you have no say.
Right.
So I grew up in that atmosphere.
Right.
But while he was raising me, I saw he gave me a different kind of attention. He always told me that, don't let any man treat you anyhow. He always gave me that confidence. So I grew up with so much self-esteem that I knew I couldn't take less from any man. My father would just kill me, so to speak. So what I see in this is, I think most of the men back in the days didn't have that spirit of oneness with their wives. They didn't see their wives as themselves. Okay, so it's like, I've married you, I've paid your bride price, you are like my property, so you come in, help me raise my children, and then we have a family together, but you are not me. And so because they don't see you as me, they treat you like an outsider, so to speak. But then the child is from my loins. You are my order. You are my next generation. I need to put you right. I think that's where the problem is.
Also, do you realize that some men too also grew up not liking the way their fathers treated their mothers? They really did not. They wished their father could have treated their mothers with more respect. So, but unfortunately, even though they hate the way their mothers were treated, they end up marrying exactly people like their mothers.
Yes, and treat them almost the same way. It's in the DNA. It's already embedded and encoded in the DNA. So I'm doing a course close to that now, and I know that there are certain things that you don't like. You are like living your life and playing another person's script. So I might be here and I'm feeling I don't like the way my mother reacted, but if I check my life, I'm playing her script.
Exactly.
It's already in
so
my DNA.
So you react exactly the same way.
Yes.
Let me come to you, Kike, your thoughts on this?
I think, first of all, I agree and appreciate your point of view. I think right now the world is evolving. The world has changed. So even if you don't teach your child feminism, society will teach that child feminism. So where am I getting to today? Yes, you said that from the upbringing of this, our fathers, our husbands, you find out that our mothers were abused. And at the end of the day, we women today don't want the same thing for ourselves or for our children. But fast forward, the men that we are married to, because of their upbringing, because of their DNA, you realize that despite the education, despite the fact that the world is evolving, despite the fact that they are educated, despite the fact that, you know, they are exposed, they are still the same way their father. Why do you think some men marry 2, 3, 4 wives? They've not sat down to process it. That, you know what, my mother was the second wife, my mother was the third wife. Hence the reason why you find out that most marriages today, we have high cases of divorces. Do you understand? Though women are the ones coming out now to say, I say no to abuse. I say no to what kind of violences and all of that. But the men themselves, do you understand? You realize that because their parent had to quit when something is not working, they jump on another woman, they too play the same pattern, the same role.
I hear you very well, Kike, but I want this conversation to go into raising our daughters right.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of girls today are broken. They end up getting married to the wrong people. They look for succor, look in men. They're not complete in who they are, just because of the kind of background we give them, what they've been exposed to in their homes, in their families. So how do we, as also young ladies and also grown women, recognize that, listen, I am just a product of a broken relationship in my home? How do I ensure that I don't go into this again going forward?
I think that we're raising rebellion. Most women were raised to be rebellious, were raised to be vocal. In this generation, the adults we have now, they were raised
to be vocal?
Yes, we were raised to be educated with an open mind.
Okay.
We were raised to go into marriage thinking, I can earn money, you can earn money. We have a lot of women now in that space feeling like, don't talk to me like that. I mean, not law school. Do you understand? So because of that level of exposure we have, there's a high rate of, I want to be respected. We're demanding for that respect. We're demanding to be equal in that marriage, to be treated like human beings as opposed to being a subordinate and helper. And this has been what has led to more cases of divorce that we've seen around. Yeah, so now, I feel that at the end of the day, we have this challenge on our hands where we want women to feel that they can be all God has destined them to be, yet we want to keep them in the home. So the challenge with us as parents is to raise our men to be wiser, to raise our boys to understand, value, and appreciate the women. It doesn't in any way emasculate a man to have a strong woman. But so far, most men see it like that. Not all, but most men feel that once I have a strong woman, once I allow her flourish, once I allow her thrive, I'm going to feel less than a man. And then there's always that competition where there shouldn't be.
Tope, do you understand that as I think growing up during our own time, I don't think that we were raised to have a voice. I think we were raised to be submissive, and we're taught that marriage should validate us. It is the world that we live in today that you find that most women are coming out, most women are CEOs. We find a lot of women in government today because they are trying to define and disrupt those structures that we met on ground.
All right.
I want to disagree with Tope, in the sense that we have a lot of, back in the days, we're raised to be vocal and be educated. But that is not the reason we're having divorces today. Because even I remember in my grandmother and my grandfather's days, a lot of them had divorces. A lot of the women at that time married more than one husband, had children for different men. Yes. But
what we have now is 50%.
No, hold on. It's more obvious now because the world is a global village. So we see what everybody is doing. But if you go to your villages, I have grandmothers in different families who had, you know, so it has always been there.
Right.
The difference between then and now is the fact that that old generation were full of pretenders who, because of the society.
Let me pause you. Let me hold that thought. Let me take this call. Trudy, are you still there? Sorry for keeping you for long.
Yeah, thank you.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, my contribution to what is on ground is that a man has an ego, has his own ego that he wants to protect.
Yes.
But the woman, the wife, is a different species altogether.
Why? We have ego too.
They intend to come to a rough shoulder with you. A man will prefer to treat the daughter, make the daughter be educated, but will not rough shoulder with him.
Aha, that's the difference.
He wants the wife to just be in
like
because the moment he gets out of where he is, he's already challenging me.
Aha.
But with my daughter,
That's my daughter.
I want him to be vocal, but will not take nonsense. But we know how to handle issues. We know how to react. But in the olden days, it's not like that. When you give a woman an inch, she overdoes things without even looking back or thinking about the consequences of that action. So that is why the men intends to allow the other to express themselves, be what they want to be.
Thank you so much, Trudy. I think Trudy actually hit the nail on the head. It's not a competition. He has used the word that a lot of men always want, respect. Because the difference between myself and my daughter, the fact that my daughter will respect you because you're her father, no matter what. Yeah. So you give her all you empower her, but yes, she's still submissive. So the question now is, can wives be as submissive as a daughter to their husbands? That's the question.
I think that a wise wife will be submissive.
Exactly.
If a wise woman will be submissive as a wife to her husband.
Not as a daughter.
Just as a daughter. I think that in most cases, and I've said it many times, the issue, women shouldn't be fighting this role thing. When you are a wife, you are meant to always submit to your husband. You are meant to defer to him. It isn't convenient sometimes, but when you do.
This is some real meat that I want people to understand, because there are two different versions. And I know you're probably not in agreement, which is fine. But the meat here, a lot of women, if they can catch this, people that can understand, that if you can be submissive to your husband as a daughter, maybe it will work for you. Because there's a women right now that are having that issue of submission.
Yes, so.
So if you use that as a guideline, okay, maybe let me just be like a really humble child. Your husband would not be slapping your face every morning. But let me come to you.
So the question will now be, what does submission mean to you?
Exactly.
Because submission means different things to different people. And we have talked about that on the show.
Is it about you or what it means to your husband? Because submission is not about what it means to you. You have to know what your husband defines as submission.
And that is why communication comes into play. Conversation comes into play.
Exactly.
So I know what makes you happy. I know your love language. And once I can speak that love language, forget it. People will think it's jazz. It's not jazz.
You want to come in here?
Yeah. I've heard all your points, but I think that let's be practical, because most of the things are theory, in the sense that when we are talking about we being submissive to the man, I think it takes two without us realizing it. When a man is coming to you in a respectful manner, is doing all his responsibility as a husband, is committed in the relationship, there is no how the woman will not naturally submit to the man. But when it comes to the fact that when a man expects you to be submissive, despite the fact that there are violences, despite the fact that there are a lot of I'm looking for the right word to use right now.
I'll come
so
to it.
when they are doing all of that to you, and they still expect you to submit and take it because of their ego.
I have said this on this table. Maybe I've said it on what I'm about to say now several times. What makes your husband a husband? It's not his ability to provide to anything. It's because the God-given role. So you are not, what you are doing for him is not because you did ABC. You're doing it because God has ordained him as a head. So with or without his ability to provide, with or without his ability.
I understand that there are some men who believe that those responsibilities, they are doing that woman a favor. They do not look at it from the angle that it is their own role to play as forming a family and being responsible for their children and for the wife. They believe that me sending my children to school, me sending your summer, me paying for hospital bill, I'm doing you a favor. So
how do you know that?
You can't choose. No, you might say it. Some men will say it to you that you're doing you a favor.
Yes.
You cannot choose your cross. If you're already married, especially those are already married, they have already carried the cross. If now, what do we do with this cross I already have?
Break. When I come back, I would like us to focus on this issue of feminism. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Unfortunately, our celebrity guest cancelled, so we're going to continue the conversation. You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. I wanted to go into feminism, but I'll go there in a second. I just remembered something now. I know somebody whose husband's definition of submission: wake up in the morning, you serve me breakfast on your knees.
Back down.
You don't take my phone, you don't touch my phone. You know, pick up the phone call, the land. They had a landline then, and he gave her a timetable for where the food must be ready. He hasn't opened an account for her. She's totally under him. Whatever she needs, he gives her money for every single thing.
Stipends.
Now, we on the outside, we're like, you're crazy. This is rubbish. How kind of...
She gets in return.
No, she just gives birth to... She had 5 kids. Gave birth to her children and just raising the kids. The man he was a doctor. Was earning money in the US and was giving her money. The point is that from the outside, we're like, you're crazy. But the woman is married to today.
And she may be happy.
She accepted her cross, as you said. You know, this is the kind of husband I was. She used to kneel down in the morning. No problem. No problem. She used to serve you 10 pieces of meat in the afternoon. No problem. As long as you bring the money, collect. So once you understand and identify your own cross, this kind of man that makes life so much easier for everybody.
Nail the point you made earlier, that the scripture said, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself. Now, he went back and said, wives, submit to your husbands. Now,
your own husband?
Yes. The instruction on love your wives is independent of whether she submits or not. So your job is to love, whether there's submission or not. Once you have chosen to marry this person, marry that person and just love that person.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now your own job as a wife is to submit, whether he loves or not, whether he respects or not. But the problem is we really do not understand the institution marriage. We want to take the job into the marriage, we want to take the career into the marriage. Right. But every other thing you are outside, when you come to your husband,
subject to that. Okay, let me take this call from Rosemary. Are you there?
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning.
Excellent morning.
Go ahead.
I would like to agree with Kike.
Right.
You know that women are naturally submissive. You know, if you because that this is sex, the Bible says, "Husband, love your wife." When there is love, when you love your wife, there's no way she will not be submissive, except she's not, you know, she's something is wrong with her. You know, as long as you love your wife, the woman naturally will submit to you. But if, for example, you're not doing what you are supposed to do as a man, you're not helping the woman in any way, the woman is doing like most of the things, and then you come back and you want her to be submissive, it's very difficult. She will not be submissive in that. But if everything you're doing, I know that, yes, we are supposed to be submissive regardless, you know, but it's difficult. Let's be real. It's difficult for you to be submissive when you know what you're supposed to do as a man, you're not doing it.
All right, thank you very much, Rosemary.
May I answer her?
Okay, all right. Am I supposed to respond?
No.
Thank you very much for your contribution. I think I want to take this further by emphasizing that the men that we have today, because of the structure of where they are coming from, you will find that at the end of the day, they believe that the word submission to them, because the world they were coming from, or the world they lived in then and the world they live in today. I want to take you further by talking about when there's adultery in the marriage, when there's violence in the marriage, when the man believes that because I'm putting roof under your head and I'm taking care, yes, I am taking care of some certain responsibility, regardless whether I am committing adultery, regardless whether I'm doing this, you should be submissive. However, I want to ask women out there, how do you want to be submissive to such an individual?
How do you want to be?
You made your point. Is that where I come in?
You know, I said that we all have this cross to bear.
Yeah, your cross.
We don't choose our cross.
Carry it.
Because sometimes we realize these things after marriage. You've already gotten married, then you realize that, man, I wasn't expecting this. When you have married that cross, now some people's crosses might include violence, cheating, and it is so heavy, it kills them.
Yes.
For when you realize your life might be at stake, bearing that cross, you drop the cross and save yourself. See, I believe totally that you should submit, you should carry your cross, because women come across as if they are perfect. Every woman, all of us here, we get our own cross. That our husbands are carrying.
All right, pause for a second, hang in the ticket. Let me come to Bijulu, please.
So, I have a perfect example.
Pause.
Okay.
Let me take this home. Ekpoma, Isaiah, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Please go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
I want to make a contribution to the...
Yes, we're listening. Go ahead.
The little thing I want to chip in here is this. In marriage, there is always a shortcoming from both men.
Yes.
So, in that essence, we have to understand that to handle this issue, everybody has to put a line between their social life and the marriage life. So, in coming to that aspect, when both of them have this understanding, they will be able to
without understanding.
The phone is breaking. I can't hear you very much, Isaiah. Oh, sorry about that.
I said I have a perfect example for this. My mother-in-law was able to win her husband over with submission. If she gives you that story, you will weep. When she met the man was tough. The man didn't care. The man was just, okay, he was a lawyer, he was a banker, in his mind, he was a superstar, and so he could do anything and get away with it. But the woman understood that I have married him, and my job is to submit. And she kept submitting till she was able to win him over to her side. And today, they had it. So when it comes to, and I also want to counter Tokwe by saying that sometimes you don't know these things before you get married. I think we are blinded by that feeling of somebody. Because when you are dating somebody, you see the red flags. Right. You can tell if you are sensitive. And that's why they tell you.
They're not sensitive.
No, you should be sensitive. A woman has instincts. But a woman should learn.
I'll take your call. Hang it. But you see, Tokwe,
did you not date?
Something causes adultery. Something causes domestic violence. Yes. There's got to be foundation. Nothing happens just because.
Yes.
So before that happens, my point is that in the beginning, what caused it? Do we identify?
Have crosses also. Women have their baggages also.
Of course.
Whenever we talk about marriage, especially on this show, we talk about it like the issues are domiciled with the men. But women are also coming with a baggage.
All right. Ike, I know you're waiting, but let me take Yakuba. I'll come to you. Yakuba, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Go ahead, please. Yes, go ahead.
I think this topic is a wonderful topic. We need someone like Lanre Odishola to come and enlighten us in this kind of topic. I haven't seen that. Murayo, you see, the word of submission. There are some certain things that you cannot be able to submit yourself into marriage. For example, a situation whereby you are into a marriage and then the marriage turns to a violence. You have to be alive before that submission.
Of course.
If you are in a marriage and then every day the husband turns you as a punching bag, and then you foresee as time goes on you may be got killed. So if you are not alive, how do you go to get that submission that we are talking about? I don't buy to that idea. Okay. If you are in violence in marriage, take a leave.
Yes, so Ron.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, here.
Yeah. Thank you for your contribution. I think that when we tie this to feminism, right, we are talking about the world that women today are living, and you do not want to live in the world that your mother or your grandmother lived. So at this point, what are we saying? We are talking about, we're saying no to violence because women today are empowered. I don't know how you want to define empowerment, but as long as you have contentment, you can afford 3 square meals. It's not necessarily the luxury. Because most time men believe that because I am paying for your hospital bill, because I'm doing certain things, therefore there are some certain things you are going through or certain things they are exhibiting. As of today, let me go a little bit personal. Because yes, when you say, you've committed adultery, you abuse verbally, at the end of the day, the woman doesn't have anything. You're pouring back all those negativity that she's going to pour back to you, regardless whether she has the tongue or not. Do you understand? Yeah. So we are in a place right now that, listen, when I'm talking about feminism, I'm talking about not just myself, but to protect my child, because I do not want my child to experience the same thing.
Let me pause you on that second. Let's go back to where we started this conversation in the first place. Men are raising their daughters to be confident, but yet they can't handle a strong, confident woman as a wife. A strong, successful woman as a wife. And that's where the issue is. Now, there was an issue of feminism that came in, and I want us to use this opportunity again to redefine, because a lot of men are totally clueless. Because there are 2 types of feminism. There's a feminism that's saying you take it over. The woman is taking over. They are now rubbing shoulder to shoulder with your husband.
There's that type.
That's the feminism that a lot of Nigerian men think we have here. But that's really not the true definition of feminism. What feminists are fighting for is equal rights for the gender.
Exactly.
For jobs, schools,
paid employment. So equal right for paid employment.
Clear, because many men cannot
not only just in the home.
They can't make that division. They continually think that once you say a feminist, you're saying that you want to rub shoulder to shoulder with them.
It's your husband.
That's not what we're saying.
But the thing is, gladly, as a woman, I am happy to be born in this generation where the opportunities are more for us women.
Alternative.
But the truth is, when you put women with financial capacity with equal earning power as men, very rarely do you see that same woman display the kind of submission and humility we see in our parents.
Pause. Let me come to Joseph. Joseph, are you there?
Balance it?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
All right. I actually wouldn't want us to discuss marriage. You know, when women are discussing marriage, we discuss as we and them. All right. Marriage is an institution. And again, 70%, let me say 70% of men are to provide, protect, and to do whatever it takes to make a woman happy. But I think this issue of submission comes in where there is issue of finances, like, you know, when a man cannot provide adequately.
Not in all cases.
And then if a woman takes over the provision,
there's a crisis.
The woman wants the man to, for them, you know, for everything to be balanced. Okay, if I used to wash plates, and when you were providing, now I'm providing, you have to wash plates. All right? If a woman allows a man to do those things, I mean, most men want to do those things by themselves.
Oh, we lost that call. So, sorry about that. Unfortunately, we have to go on a break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines again and take more tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's take some tweets, Obiajulu.
B. Ben says, if I had a daughter, I'll train her to be a strong feminist. She has to be dependent and don't have to depend on anyone for help. I wouldn't want to see my daughter maltreated because someone is a man. She must be a feminist with humility. Okay, Richard said, there is no love in telling your wife to kneel before you to serve. Love is living for someone or something. So if a man loves his wife, he will even be the one to serve her in most cases.
Madi Gessin says, can there be equal rights in marriage? They can't be two drivers, so are they competing, dragging for anything? He also says, couples should understand that they are partners and do everything to make their marriages work. Marriages should be enjoyed.
Pause. Can I pause you for a second? Okay. When you say this two-driver thing, we hear it a lot of time. But I want us to catch what Tokwe had said earlier. If you have a driver who is driving like a 98-year-old driver, that is constantly bumping into roads. That's the cross you have married. Your husband is very, very slow driver, and you want to move. Forward. But unfortunately, so that's the point you were making, that if you ended up marrying that kind of a driver who doesn't see further, he just only sees this small picture, then you're cross.
But there's no
Let's want to break the home.
There's no law.
But no, let me take that back. Should it be your cross? Or should you confidently say, you know what, I'm getting another driver. I'm going to leave this union.
So everything boils down to what you want. Right. There is no law that says you must stay there and die there. So if you get into a relationship with somebody and along the line you notice that it's too heavy, I can't take this. If I stay here, I'm going to die. Omo, take a walk.
And it's beyond physical abuse.
Yes.
Verbal abuse,
emotional abuse
too.
Right.
Yes.
Morenica, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I want to make my own point.
Go ahead.
And Mariah, we're hoping to give you an award for being the best woman and best mother of the year, probably at the end of the year.
Yay, thank you.
Now, let me break. I don't know if you permit me to share personal life experience with you and make you understand what submission means to a man.
Okay.
Now, before I got married, I spent good 8 years before getting married to my wife. And I did marry my wife as a virgin. Now, could you believe it takes me about 3 to 4 years before I started enjoying sex with my wife. Now, within the space of 2-3 months, there was a particular day I grew angry and I said, come, when you know you are not ready, why did you come to play? Now, when you talk about this feminine thing, why if I would prefer to spend billions of naira on my daughter is because no matter how wealthy, how educated my daughter is, she will still regard me as a father. An average human will not do that. And please, permit me to correct the lady that was putting on jacket. The Bible said, wife, the instruction goes to the wife first. Wife, submit to your husband. That was the first instruction. Then the Bible expects the husband to love in return. Now, I'll tell you what, Mariah, because I'm speaking to you now, my wife manage all my accounts, all my business accounts. If I'm to give you 500 naira, my wife will send it to you. If I need 1 naira, my wife, I have to tell her I need 1 naira for AYZ. All my contract money, she manages.
That's transparency.
Submission. So what we're saying is this. The woman needs to understand what submission is.
Okay, point taken. So she submits to the point where you're willing to open up everything to her. That's what he's saying.
May I quickly tell him that the instructions were different? It's not, you don't submit because you are loved or you love because you're submit. They were giving separate instructions, so everybody face your lane.
So in the space of, because he was talking about submission and all, and the cross, that woman that you now entrust, that was your cross. That 3 years of struggle was the cross you had to carry. Yes. She, on the other hand, had to carry some cross with you. All of us are
some people cannot wait 3 years or 4 years. So some people in the next first 2-3 years, they want to run away already.
Yes. So there is benefit to staying, and there is also disadvantage to staying. The thing is, one, we must all know ourselves. You know yourself, you know what you can take, so that you don't live and die in regret. There's a book I read about the regrets of dying people. One of the things that number one was that they regretted being married for that long, or regretted possibly that it. Most people died regretting that, I wish I just left this marriage. And don't let that be your story. If you're going to end your life regretting the person you married, you might as well just go and be happy.
Take some sweets also. They'll come to Kike. Akoyemi, are you there?
Yes, I have.
Go ahead. No woman calling today. Just men. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good. My own contribution to the topic is... Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. TV, instead of listening to me.
Okay, good. I'm Akoyemi Falana. A first-time caller as well. Okay.
Hello? Okay, unfortunately, we have to cut that. We have to cut that line off. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that I agree with what the last caller before now shared. There was transparency. The values of both parties were the same. The beliefs, where they had a target, they had a goal. And that's the reason why there's togetherness.
You don't know that now.
I'm assuming based on what he shared, that himself and his wife had a joint account. If he wants to transfer money to you, it has to be the wife to do that. Do you understand? Men of today believe that, maybe some men believe that, yes, I have to have my own money. I understand that he works for some...
You missed his point. You missed his point.
Yeah,
his point is that in the beginning, it was tough.
Yeah.
They went through 4 years of issues.
Which is normal.
And the woman submitted to him. Now, they are post 4 years. Their marriage is at the point where he's even willing to share everything, including his account. So something happened before he got to 4 years.
It depends on both parties now. Are you willing to weather the storm during that period, so that at the end of the what's it called,
communication.
You can come together. Do you understand?
And
work together.
And that's what I was saying, that understand this storm. This is a storm that I can endure. Understand your person.
Exactly.
This is a storm I can endure, but it's a storm I cannot endure.
Exactly.
Right. Let me come to tweets.
Important.
Tweets, please.
Okay. So Oshinawa Kingsley says, most women promoting feminism are mostly those who are angered by their personal experience and bitterness from men.
That's not
They mislead other women into doom and swallow worse stuff in their relationship.
Needs to understand the definition of feminism.
Yes. Then it says women are great creatures, but when it comes to marriage, men are the heads, and that struggle for leadership of the home is the major source of disagreement in marriages. Wives be submissive, husbands love that, and that is the commandment.
I think the issue we have, the issue we have is that a lot of men want all of us to be submissive to all men.
Yes.
We want to submit to our own husbands. Yes. It is only my husband that I want to submit to.
Mariah.
Because you are a man doesn't mean that I must continue to do
Mariah. So when you come to the workplace, because you are a woman and your boss is a man, or the boss is a woman, and the subordinates are men, they feel, why would a woman head us?
Yes.
No, forgetting that it's actually in marriage that submission is supposed to hold.
Bringing it back to marriage, you have cases where arguing what submission means. To someone, it's kneel down. To another person, it is seek my opinion on everything. So I think that, like she said, communication. Define what love means to you. Define what submission means to you. So when I let you understand, like we had an argument on water recently, and he was saying, don't send me to bring water, send me to bring... And I said, if you send me to bring water, I don't see it as a problem. You can send me on any errand. Any errand, there's love. Yeah, so if you now want to send, if I want to send you an errand, don't take it that, how can this woman be sending me on errand? Take it for me that it is a way of love. But when you communicate, you clarify every issue. Don't let there be gap.
Well, when we are talking about involvement now, there comes a time during mothers, even Islam, they believe that women should be at the background. Women does not need to have an opinion, do you understand? But in the world we live in today, women are now standing up for their right. They are saying no to verbal or physical violence, do you understand? So at the end of the day, you realize that it is not about the women of those days, it is the world we live in today. So the society itself is the one kind of forming us into feminism because the world has changed.
Yes. Let me let you have that.
And, you know, when we usually use the scriptures, which is good, let's not forget that the instruction was given to women back in 2,000 years ago. Women of those days were totally different. They were not allowed to speak and all of
because
that.
We still use that Bible.
No, that's what I'm saying. But now that's why we are saying different. Before, it was a general submission. Don't speak when your husband is speaking. But now you defined what submission means to you.
All right, so the same way you define what salvation should mean to us.
Yes, basically, yes. For people,
okay,
yes.
Well, see.
Let me not confuse.
That's all we can take on the show. I sincerely hope that we can have this conversation again, because I don't think we really been able to thrash it properly. Because one of the major issues we're having is that a lot of women today are stuck. They're stuck. They feel totally stuck. And we need to help those women get through this. Hopefully your courses that you're taking now can help us in this.
Help,
Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you on Monday. God bless you. Bye-bye.